two lovers who were once in a relationship but they broke up, and after some time, their parents got married and now they have to hide their past and live together. So I suggest you don't miss today's video at all. Hello, welcome to Animo Time channel. The well-made anime that we're going to recap for today's video is called My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. It's a very good anime that I suggest you stay with me until the end of the video. Mazido's father is married to Yomi's mother and now they have to live together. But in fact, these two were in a relationship before, but they broke up. Yomi and Mazido wash the dishes after dinner and their parents are happy to see their good relationship, but we know that these two are just pretending. Yumi tells Mazido that you should keep the past a secret and no one should find out, and they both agree. In the next scene, Mazido is in his room and he is studying when Yumi enters. Yomi says that you should not call me by my name and you should call me sister. Although these two were born on the same day, Yomi was born 3 minutes earlier and wants to be the older sister. Mazido doesn't accept, so Yomi offers a game and if Mazido loses, he becomes the younger brother. Yomi goes to the shelf and looks at the books. Just as she is about to open Mazido's secret drawer, Mazido gets up and tells her to finish the fight. Yomi accidentally calls him by his name and loses the game, and from now on she has to call Mazido her brother. The next day, the two of them go to school where Yomi gives a speech for the ceremony. Mazido is not happy that Yomi has higher grades than him in school. In the next scene, two boys come to Mazido and they want to be friends with Mazido to reach Yumi. Yomi stops Mazido at home and is angry that those boys didn't have the courage to talk to her directly. Mazido doesn't care and says don't think about it. The next day, Yomi follows Mazido to school. When the two boys want to talk to Mazido again, Yomi grabs Mazido's arm and sends the boys away. In the evening, their parents come home late, so Mazido has to cook. During dinner, Yomi says to forget what happened today, and Mazido also says that I had forgotten, which makes Yomi even more angry. Yomi thinks how she can change that cold face of Mazido. She goes and take a bath and then comes in front of Mazido with a towel. Mazido's face turns red and this was exactly what Yomi wanted, but then she thinks to herself that she is seducing Mazido with this. Mazido throws a t-shirt on Yomi and says to cover yourself. He thanks Yomi for caring about him and just as Yomi is about to leave, she slips and the two end up in a bad situation. Just when they're about to break sibling rules, their parents arrive and Yomi has to hide under the bed. The next day at school, a boy named Kagiri approaches Mazido and tells him to take the fitness test together. Mazido tells him that I can't be friends with a liar because you only want to reach Yomi. But Kagiri is the only one who only wants to be with him, which surprises Mazido. In the next scene, a girl named Minami stares at Yomi's breasts. She tells Yomi how big her breasts are, but hers are small. Yomi says that mine were also small, so you can make yours bigger with hard work. Minami is happy with Yomi's encouragement and hugs her and they both take the fitness test together. In the test, Yomi tries her best to score above the average and succeeds, but she gets exhausted and falls. Minami took her to the infirmary and she admits that Yomi's academic appearance and performance are great. The next day, Yomi gets sick and Mazido goes to school alone. Minami asks Mazido about Yomi, but Kagiri tries to push Minami away, but she tells him that you only became friends with Mazido because of Yomi. Kagiri doesn't care what she says and says that his only hobby is watching people fall in love. Minami begs Mazido to come home with him to meet Yomi. On the way, Minami asks Mazido a lot and finally they arrive. Yomi has a high fever and is resting. Minami and Mazido make soup for her and Minami gives it to Yomi. Seeing Yomi, Minami is relieved and leaves. Mazido returns to Yomi's room and after talking for a while, Yomi falls asleep. Yomi remembers the past when she was sick and Mazido took care of her. In the past, they were together because of same interests, but they separated due to misunderstandings. In the next scene, Mazido returns to Yomi. He wants to measure her fever when he realizes that Yomi has gotten better, but she has been pretending to be sick. Mazido gets angry and goes back to his room. Later, Yomi finds Mazido's underwear in her room. She tries to secretly take the underwear to Mazido's room, so she waits until Mazido is asleep. When she opens the door, she suddenly sees Mazido holding her bra. The two pulled into the living room for a family meeting, and Yomi has to explain first. She uses this excuse that she found it in the bathroom and her mother came at that moment, so she had to bring it to her room. Mazido uses exactly the same excuse and then the two promise not to have anything to do with each other's stuff. Mazido says that since both made a mistake, each of us can have a request from the other, and the other must do it. The next day, Yomi sees Mazido with another girl and is shocked. She asks Minami about the girl, but no one knows her. Yomi returns home angrily but sees a pair of girls' shoes at the door. She takes pictures of the shoes with her phone. Then she calls Mazido and tells him to go out and buy some things for her. She waits behind the door for Mazido to go out and catch the girl. Yomi ran downstairs, but the shoes were gone. She wonders how the girl didn't pass in front of her. In the next scene, we see Mazido in the library and the girl approaches him again. Then it becomes clear that this girl is actually Minami. She asks Mazido to marry her so that she can be with Yomi all day. Mazido tells everything to Kaguri. Kaguri laughs and says that you should be careful. He says that Minami already had a boyfriend and she was obsessed with him all day. But 3 months later, that boy has worked so hard that he goes to the hospital. He says that Minami's biggest fear is playing too much with someone she likes a lot. But Kaguri shows Mazido away. Mazido goes to Yomi's room and tells her that she has to go on a date tomorrow. The next day, Yomi is waiting at the place when suddenly Mazido comes. She is surprised that Mazido himself came on the date and turns her face away. But she returns again and goes with Mazido. Yomi's face turns red because Mazido is so handsome, and suddenly Mazido grabs Yomi's hands. But at this moment, Kaguri and Minami are looking at them and these are all Kaguri's plans. Kaguri had prepared Mazido, that's why he was so handsome. Kaguri told Mazido to compliment Yomi's appearance, so Mazido does the same. Although Mazido's way of speaking was not good, Yomi shyly thanks him. When these two are looking at the aquarium, Mazido pulls Yomi towards himself and Yomi is shocked that Mazido is behaving like this today. Mazido goes to the bathroom and asks Kaguri what to do now. He says that I have helped you so far and you have to do the rest yourself. Because the toilet was far from the meeting place, Yomi lost her way. She calls Mazido and he tells her to stay still until I find you. She remembers the past day when she went to a festival with Mazido and she was lost like now. In the past, Mazido finds Yomi, and it's the same now. But this time, instead of consoling her, he makes joke about Yomi. Then these two go to the park together and stay out until late. Yomi has to leave early, and when she leaves, Minami comes to Mazido. She says I saw you here by chance and apologizes to him for breaking into his house. And Mazido says he won't tell Yomi about it. Meanwhile, Yumi thinks to herself at home that the strange things that Mazido did today must have been on purpose. Mazido comes home, and Yomi has been waiting for him. This time she asks for her benefits from the last case and asks him to pose for her picture. The next day at school, Mazido and Kaguri stand side by side and looking at the girls. Mazido asks if you were in the hospital and Kaguri doesn't deny. Here we find out that Kaguri is actually Minami's ex-boyfriend. This video ends here, wait for the next part on the channel. Thank you for liking the video, it makes me very happy, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos.